Hi, and welcome to Getting Started with MyFitnessPal. This is 2022. This is the newest version of MyFitnessPal, and I'm going to teach you the very basics of getting started. So we're going to start right here on the main screen. When you open the app, this is what it should look like on your Android device. It will look a little different on Apple devices, but they are very similar. So at the bottom, you're going to see Dashboard, which is the screen you're looking at right now, Diary, Newsfeed, Plans, and more. So we're not going to get too complicated. We're just going to start with setting up your goals. So the first thing you're going to do is click More. And then you're going to see you have My Premium Tools. By the way, this is a premium version that you're looking at. However, the premium version is not necessary, although it does have some helpful features. It basically does the math for you on some things. I can get into that in a minute. So they've got recipe discovery, progress, workout routines, goals, nutrition, recipes, meals, and foods, which is your recipes, meals, and foods, by the way, things that you add in. The recipe discovery is going to be recipes that they have available to you, and steps, tracking your steps, community, reminders, friends, which is a feature I use, and messages, privacy center, and settings. So the most useful thing probably through all of this is the recipe discovery. So if you click on that, they actually have a fantastic amount of recipes on here that are all different categories. So you can see pantry staples, pre-workout, post-workout, high protein, low carb. I mean, there are a ton of things on here. So if you cook your own food a lot, there are some great ideas here. So just know that this is available to you. But we are going to start with goals. So we're going to click on goals. And here you're going to make your adjustments. So you can choose your current weight, enter that in. And if you do that, know that it will change everything back to the default. This is with the premium and the standard version of this software. And it will automatically give you about 50% carbohydrates, which for most people is too much. So I'm going to show you how to set your goals, because the default is really not appropriate for most people, specifically people who are trying to lose weight, which is the vast majority of people using MyFitnessPal. So you can make your adjustments here to your goal weight. Again, just know that this is going to recalculate your calorie and nutrient goals and overwrite any custom settings. So don't adjust your weight until you know that you're ready to reset all of those. So as you lose or gain weight, depending upon your goals, I would give it a good 5 pounds before you make any adjustments, and then know you have to go through this process all over again. So the goal here, you can adjust this. I always tell everybody to leave it on lightly active, because most people are using MyFitnessPal to lose weight, and you don't want to over calculate your calorie intake. And if you put that you're more active on there, it will automatically give you more calories. And for most people, that's not what they want. So let's now make some adjustments to our nutrition goals. So your calorie, net carbs, protein, and fat goals. I want to note here, by the way, that because this is the premium version, it does calculate net carbs. The standard version does not. It requires you to do a little math. The calorie goals by meal is a premium feature. Showing net carbs, protein, and fat by meal is a premium feature. So those are the premium features. But everybody can adjust their calorie carbs, total carbs, protein, and fat goals. So we're going to click on that. Now I have already made adjustments to this. This is not the default, and this is a pretty good idea of what most people should be at, particularly if you're trying to lose weight. The first thing that you want to do is calculate your protein goals. And for most people, it's about 1 to 2 grams per pound of body weight. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of all of that right now and the specifics, because this is just a MyFitnessPal video. However, you need to figure that out, and we can go over that in another video. So it's very individual, and it depends on your activity level. That is very important. So we're going to start with carbs. So and actually once you open up, if you click on any of these percentages, it is going to change. It's going to allow you to change all of them. So let's look at your goals first. So you can see up at the top, it says percentage or grams. I believe that in the standard version, everybody can adjust their percentage, but you may not be able to adjust your grams. So that is I'm pretty sure that's a premium feature. However, it's not really necessary. So you can go by percentage. As long as it's close, that's really what matters. So I've got my protein set to 127 grams a day, or 35%, and it's approximate. You make your adjustments here. You know, it has to add up to 100% on the bottom right. You'll see that. It'll turn red if you change it and you don't change something else. So you can make your adjustments there. Once you have those adjusted, you just click the check mark on the top right and you save it. Adding daily goals, by the way, is a premium feature. So again, not necessary. The only time that would be really useful is if you are doing a fasting split, where you're doing like a 5-2, for example, where 2 days a week you eat significantly less calories than you do the other 5 days of the week. That works really well for some people. So that is a nice feature to have, but it is, again, not necessary. You can do the math yourself. Everything in the premium version is really about not having to do math. So just know that. I do believe that that is the only way you can add your own foods to the library as well. However, chances are that the food that you're looking for is already in there. Specifically, if you're eating whole foods, you're not going to have a problem. So there are some other features on here at the bottom, but again, I don't recommend tracking your workouts on MyFitnessPal, especially if you use a Fitbit or some other device to track your activity. Then don't even worry about tracking at MyFitnessPal. It is much more useful as a food and macros calculator. So let's go back to the diary. And the diary is where you add your food. So you can see my breakfast here is a protein shake. So I'm going to show you how to track that, how to add it to your diary. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to delete it, because it's already in there. So if you have something that's in there and you need to delete it, you can just press and hold and delete that entry. Okay, so now we're starting with a clean slate. I also want to show you that here at the top, you see today, right in the top middle. Well, if you click that little arrow on the left, it's going to take you to yesterday. And if you click to the right, if you wanted to plan ahead, you could put in tomorrow's. So we're going to go back. So make sure you're always on the correct day, by the way. So I'm going to put that back on today, and then we're going to add our protein shake. So you click on add food and scan a barcode. So you can see here as you scroll through, I have this set, by the way, to most frequent foods. So you can also click on that and you can sort by A to Z. You can sort by most recent, but I like most frequent because, probably like most of you, I tend to eat the same things every day. So we're going to start with a little barcode scan. So you're going to click on scan a barcode here. And then all you do is you use your camera to find the barcode. It catches it pretty quickly. And then you can see it comes up. Make sure that what these macros look like actually match what your food is. And in this case, it does. It does have a green check mark up here, which means MyFitnessPal has verified it. It will tell you, though, that I have checked verified foods in the past and they didn't match. So always double check. It only takes a second, especially if you're looking at something that has a barcode on it. Just make sure it matches. So you can see this, I can say it does match. 130 calories, 9 grams of net carbs, 20 grams of protein. That's a match. If it's not a match, you can report the food or find a better match. Okay, but we know this is right. And another thing to know is that if you're adjusting your serving size, so right here it says 1 carton. If you wanted to adjust that, you would click on that. You could do half a carton and it would recalculate that. Okay, if you had 1.5 cartons, it would recalculate that. So that's how you adjust your serving sizes. Now, if it's something else, you can click on that drop down. Now, this only comes in cartons, but say that you're measuring in grams or you're measuring in ounces. A lot of times, especially with whole foods, something like chicken breast, you should have several options there where it'll say 1 gram, 1 ounce, 4 ounces, whatever the standard serving size is. So you can make those adjustments and always check that. Don't assume that it has the correct serving size. So I'm going to adjust this back to what it was, which is 1 carton. And then up at the top right, that little check mark, we're going to click it because we know it's correct. So we're going to go ahead and click that. Okay, the other way, so we'll delete it again. I'm going to show you, you just press and hold, delete entry. I believe on Apple devices, you swipe left to delete it. And then we're going to add that food again with a search. So we're going to click on add food, and then we're going to go up to the search box, and instead we're going to put in Orgain. Now, because this is something that I eat or I consume all the time, it is one of the top things. So, but notice how there's one with 140 calories and there's one with 130 calories. Well, I know the one that I'm drinking has 130 calories, so I'm going to click on that one. So this is a little cautionary tale here. Make sure that it matches. So I'm going to click the check mark again because I know it's correct. And then I'm going to go back to my diary, and there it is. Okay. And now I'm going to show you how to look at your actual nutrition for the day. So if you click on this little pie chart up at the top, and calories isn't really that useful, but if you click on nutrients, that's useful. So you can see how close you're getting to your goals, how many grams you have left to get to your goals for each macronutrient. You see protein, net carbs. Again, if you're using the standard version of this, it's not going to say net carbs, it's just going to say total carbs, which again just requires a little math. All you're doing is subtracting the fiber and any sugar alcohols that you had from the total carbs to get your net carbs. You can see your sugars, your fat, your saturated fat. You can see all of your micronutrients down here at the bottom. Very useful. So at the end of the day, I like to look at this. So let's go to yesterday so you can get a better idea. So yesterday, you can see it wasn't my perfect day, but it wasn't bad. And so I didn't quite hit my protein goal. I went a little bit over on my carbs. I didn't hit my fiber goal. I had way too much fat. And this is often what it looks like for all of us. But this is why MyFitnessPal is so useful, because when you don't hit your goals, you can go back and look at why, right? So if I click on macros, I can see, okay, obviously I overate my fat, but this again, premium feature, but you can see that the lentil soup, was my highest in net carbs, the Italian breadsticks, so the highest in fat. Okay, so this is where I could have done better. I had a charcuterie board. I could have done a little bit better. So this is the helpfulness of MyFitnessPal. You can go, okay, so those meats I had yesterday were a little high in fat. So maybe I need to choose leaner meats, so I'll be higher in protein and lower in fat, because fat is what I went over on, right? So this is really useful for that. So I highly recommend that at the end of the day, you take a look at this page, because it's the one that matters the most. It really shows you where you're not hitting your goals or where you're going over, and it can help you break down why, okay? So that is really useful. So let's go back to today, and I'm going to add something else just to give you a better idea. So we're going to add food, and I am going to add half and half because I had some coffee this morning. You always want to add your fats. We're going to search that. You adjust your serving size right there, and then you click your check mark at the top right. And now I'm going to add my black tea. So you can see it has 0 calories. You don't really have to track things that you know have 0 calories in it, but for the sake of showing you how to track it, I'm going to go ahead and add it. And then we're going to go back to our diary, and you can see what I've had for breakfast. And then it shows you how many calories you have remaining at the top. Again, the exercise, this is where I want you to be mindful, because if you were tracking your exercise, if your Fitbit or your activity tracking watch is connected to MyFitnessPal, it will give you extra calories. Say that your Fitbit calculated that you burned 200 calories in some activity that you did. It will add that to your total. So instead of having, in my case, a goal of 1,449 calories for the day, it would actually give me 1,649 calories for the day. Well, I don't want that, because my personal goal is to lose weight. So I don't want to use those exercise calories, because I'm trying to take a couple pounds off. So be aware of that. don't let that trip you up. So again, I don't recommend connecting your activity tracker to MyFitnessPal. It's unnecessary. You can just track your activity separately, because all it's going to do is give you extra calories. And unless you're trying to gain weight, that's not particularly helpful. All right, quickly, I just want to show you a couple other features. So we're going to look at the news feed. News feed is not really anything particularly helpful. You might have some blog posts that might be interesting. Sometimes they have recipes posted here. But, you know, and if you're connected with friends, you can see other friends and what they're doing. You can cheer them on or whatever. I use it more for my clientele, but not really necessary. You could use MyFitnessPal and never use this feature, and you wouldn't miss it, is what I'm saying. Plans, this is a newer feature. This is the intro to macro tracking. I signed up for it just to kind of get a feel of what they're doing. I don't find it particularly helpful, but if you're really new to macro tracking, it might be something that you get something out of. It just basically assigns you tasks. So I don't find it particularly helpful. However, it's a cool feature. So let's go back to our dashboard. And all this is just right back where you started. So one of the easy things too is if you just want to go in and do a quick track and you're not really interested in looking at anything else because you're busy, but you got to track this so you don't forget, just click right here and search for a food, or you can hit your scan a barcode right there too. So just know that that feature is available to you right from the main screen. You can just click right on the barcode too, and it takes you straight to the barcode reader. So this is the newest version of MyFitnessPal. Again, this is the premium version that you're looking at, although there is not much difference between the premium and the standard version. Most of that has to do with math and just a couple extra features like being able to look at net carbs and being able to track calories per meal. Again, it really all just breaks down to whether or not you want to do the math. So that's your beginning introduction to MyFitnessPal, its newest version. In later videos, I will show you how to make meals, how to make recipes, and some tips and tricks for entering things a little bit faster. Have a great day, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.